Picture this. You've been the constant one in someone's life, the reliable texter, the first to call, the ever-ready problem solver. You're the rock they lean on, the shoulder they cry on, and the one who never seems too far away. But now, imagine flipping the script. Imagine stepping back, letting silence speak louder than your presence, and allowing your absence to linger like a soft echo in their world. What happens when the one they always assumed would be there suddenly focuses inward, investing energy into self-growth, joy, and purpose? This is not about manipulation or mind games. This is Stoicism in action. It's about embodying ancient wisdom that teaches us to prioritize what we can control: our time, energy, and value. By doing so, you elevate yourself and shift the dynamics of relationships, not by demanding attention, but by commanding it through the quiet power of self-worth. In this journey, you'll uncover 10 transformative Stoic habits designed to ignite not only admiration in others, but also a profound longing for your presence. From valuing yourself to mastering the art of forgiveness, every habit we explore will deepen your understanding of what it means to truly live and connect. Stick around. What lies at the end will not only enhance how others perceive you, but will forever change how you perceive yourself. 1. Value yourself and your time. Do you often find yourself chasing people, trying to maintain conversations that feel one-sided? Are you the person who rearranges their schedule to accommodate someone else's plans, only to wonder later why your effort wasn't reciprocated? If so, let me ask you this: who is truly valuing your time if not you? The first and most critical Stoic habit is learning to value yourself. To understand this, we must confront an uncomfortable truth. Many of us attach our worth to how others perceive us. We measure our significance through the lens of their attention, forgetting the one truth Stoicism has always emphasized: your worth is defined by you. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions." Consider this: what are you ambitious about? Is it your growth, happiness, and fulfillment? Or is it the fleeting satisfaction of external validation? When you prioritize the former, you shift the focus inward, and that's where true power resides. By valuing your time and energy, you create a magnetic presence. You are no longer the one waiting by the phone or seeking someone else's approval. Instead, you're someone pursuing passions, friendships, and goals that light up your world. You're thriving, not just busy, but truly alive in your pursuits. And here's the fascinating part: others will notice. The void your absence leaves will make them realize the energy, warmth, and uniqueness only you can provide. How can you start valuing yourself more? Begin by auditing your time. Reflect on where you invest your energy each day. Are there people or activities that drain you without giving anything in return? Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control who has access to your time. Let this realization guide you to set boundaries and choose wisely. Another step is to explore what ignites your passion. Dive into hobbies, projects, and relationships that bring joy and growth. When you prioritize what fulfills you, your energy shifts, and others can't help but be drawn to that vibrancy. Picture this: instead of being the person who constantly waits for attention, you become the person too engaged in living a rich, meaningful life to notice. This doesn't mean you close yourself off to relationships or stop caring about others. It means you approach every interaction with a sense of self-worth. You're no longer someone begging for inclusion. You're someone whose presence is a privilege. This is the essence of Stoicism, not seeking validation but embodying it. So, I'll leave you with this question: what could you achieve if you poured the energy you give to others into becoming the best version of yourself? As we move forward, remember, valuing yourself is not selfish, it's essential. And when you master this, you lay the foundation for all the other Stoic habits to come. Next, we'll explore a powerful yet underrated practice: creating space for reflection and growth. Stay with me as we continue this transformative journey into the depths of Stoicism. 2. Create space for reflection and growth. Have you ever wondered what happens when you step back, when you allow the world to move without your constant involvement. When your absence speaks louder than your presence ever could. In relationships, be they romantic, platonic, or professional, there's a subtle power in stepping back strategically. It's not about playing games or retreating out of fear. It's about creating space for yourself to grow and for others to reflect on what your presence truly means. As Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely put it, withdraw into yourself as far as you can. This withdrawal isn't selfish, it's essential. It's a pause that allows both self-discovery and the fostering of deeper connections. Imagine you're always available. Every call is answered, every problem solved, every need met before it's even voiced. What does that availability signal? It suggests that your presence is constant, predictable, and perhaps, dare I say, taken for granted. But what if you took a step back, not in anger or frustration, but with intention and purpose? What if you let the silence fill the spaces where your energy once was? What might others feel in that absence? And more importantly, what might you discover in that space? Stepping back allows you to focus inward, to reflect on your values, priorities, and goals. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-control, and this practice is a perfect example. You control the narrative of your presence. You decide how much you give and when. By withdrawing strategically, you rejuvenate your energy and return to the world with a renewed sense of purpose. And when you do, your presence becomes more impactful, more cherished. This habit is not about abandoning people or responsibilities. It's about recalibrating your involvement. For instance, if you're always the one taking charge at work or in a social group, try stepping back and observing. Let others step forward. You'll find that this pause not only empowers others but also enhances how much they appreciate your contributions when you return. But what does this look like in practice? It could mean setting boundaries on your availability. No more replying to late-night texts unless it's urgent. It could mean taking time for yourself, whether that's a solo walk, journaling, or diving into a passion project. It's about signaling to the world and yourself that your time and energy are valuable. So think of a time when someone you cared about wasn't immediately accessible. Did you find yourself missing them? Did you reflect on what their presence brought to your life? That's the space we're talking about. By stepping back, you allow others to feel the weight of your absence and to recognize the value you bring. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. It's not about grand gestures or complex strategies. It's about a quiet shift in how you allocate your energy. When you create space, you're not only fostering longing in others, but also nurturing your inner self. You become someone who is deeply at peace, and that peace radiates outward, making your presence even more magnetic. So, I'll leave you with this challenge. Where in your life can you step back? What relationships or situations could benefit from a little space? Reflect on this and let the answers guide your next steps. If this idea resonates with you, take a moment to reflect and share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you create space for yourself and others? And if you're finding value in this journey, don't forget to like this video. Your engagement inspires more content that helps us grow together, one Stoic habit at a time. 3. Cultivate decisiveness. How often do you find yourself stuck in a loop of indecision? You weigh your options endlessly, fear the consequences of a wrong choice, and hesitate until opportunities pass you by. Does this sound familiar? Now consider this. What if indecision isn't just a habit, but a reflection of uncertainty within yourself? Stoicism offers us a remedy: resolute decisiveness. At its core, this habit is about clarity and courage. It's about understanding your values and letting them guide your actions without hesitation. Seneca reminds us it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. When you cultivate decisiveness, you radiate confidence and purpose. People are naturally drawn to those who seem to know their minds, who walk through life with conviction. There's a magnetism to someone who doesn't second-guess their every move, someone who acts with thoughtfulness, but also with resolve. It's not about never making mistakes, it's about embracing the strength to choose and the resilience to learn from the outcomes. Consider this in practical terms. Imagine you're faced with a decision. Should you accept a new job offer? Should you end a draining relationship? Should you commit to a challenging project? A decisive person examines the situation through the lens of their core values, what aligns with their goals, principles, and well-being. Once the choice becomes clear, they act without lingering in self-doubt or fearing external judgments. This decisiveness doesn't come from arrogance, but from deep self-awareness. To cultivate it, start small. Practice making quick, value-driven decisions in your daily life. For instance, when choosing what to eat for dinner, instead of agonizing over every option, decide swiftly based on what nourishes you and aligns with your preferences. These small acts of decisiveness train your mind to trust itself. The real power of decisiveness lies not only in the choices you make, but in how you carry yourself. When you know your mind and act on it, you exude a sense of stability that others find reassuring. Think about leaders, friends, or colleagues you admire. What sets them apart? Often it's their ability to act with clarity and decisiveness, even in uncertain circumstances. Of course, decisiveness doesn't mean rushing into decisions recklessly. Stoicism teaches us the balance between reflection and action. When faced with a choice, take a moment to reflect. Does this align with my values? Does it serve my long-term growth? If the answer is yes, act without delay. If the answer is no, walk away without regret. And if the situation is unclear, set a time limit for deliberation and commit to choosing by then. As you practice this habit, you'll notice a shift in how others perceive you. Decisive people are seen as trustworthy and reliable. Their choices inspire respect because they signal thoughtfulness and confidence. When you embody this quality, you naturally command attention and admiration. People will seek your input, value your perspective, and perhaps most importantly, feel a deep longing for the stability and clarity you bring to their lives. So ask yourself, where in your life can you start practicing decisiveness? What decisions have you been avoiding? And how might clarity of purpose guide you forward? As you begin to act with intention, you'll not only transform your own life, but also deepen the connections you share with others. And that is the essence of living with Stoic strength and grace. Up next, we'll explore how to shift from negativity to gratitude, a habit that will make your presence even more magnetic and uplifting. Stay tuned. 4. Limit complaints and embrace positivity. Do you find yourself venting when things don't go your way? Complaining about traffic, bad weather, or that one coworker who always seems to test your patience? It's natural, we all have those moments. But have you ever paused to consider what constant complaining does to your mind, your relationships, and your presence? Stoicism challenges us to look at complaints as wasted energy. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When we complain, we shift our focus to what's outside our control. We give power to these external irritants and let them dictate our emotions. Worse, we risk pushing others away with negativity. Imagine sitting at dinner with someone who spends the entire evening lamenting their day, the traffic, the weather, their frustrating boss. How do you feel by the end of that meal? Likely drained, ready to retreat. Complaints have a way of creating emotional fatigue, not just for the complainer but for those around them. On the other hand, positivity and resilience are like fresh air. They attract people and inspire admiration. Limiting complaints doesn't mean denying life's challenges or suppressing emotions. It means shifting your perspective. The next time you face a frustrating situation, instead of venting, pause and ask yourself, does complaining solve this problem? In most cases, it doesn't. What does help is focusing on solutions or reframing the issue altogether. For example, let's say you're stuck in traffic. The impulse might be to groan about how late you'll be or curse the city's traffic management. But what if you used that time to listen to an audiobook, call a loved one, hands-free, of course, or practice deep breathing? Suddenly, the situation transforms from an annoyance to an opportunity. Gratitude is another powerful antidote to complaints. Every time you catch yourself about to grumble, try replacing the thought with something you're thankful for. It could be as small as having a comfortable chair to sit in, or as significant as the support of a dear friend. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to focus on the positive, making you not just happier but also more magnetic to those around you. Positivity isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing how to respond to its imperfections. It's about being the kind of person who sees the silver lining, who inspires others to feel lighter and stronger in your presence. I think of someone in your life who handles challenges with grace and humor. Doesn't their outlook make them someone you long to be around? By choosing not to complain, you take control of your energy. You show resilience, adaptability, and strength, all qualities that others find deeply attractive. You become someone who uplifts rather than drains, a presence people crave. So I ask you, what would your life look like if you redirected the energy spent on complaints towards solutions and gratitude? How would your relationships transform if you became known as a source of positivity and strength? As we move forward, we'll explore the art of preparation, how visualizing challenges before they arise can make you not only resilient, but also an anchor of calm for those around you. Stay with me as we dive deeper into these Stoic habits. 5. Visualize and prepare for challenges. Have you ever been caught off guard by a situation you didn't see coming? Perhaps an argument flared up out of nowhere, or a work project spiraled into chaos, leaving you scrambling for control. How did you respond? Were you calm and composed, or did the storm sweep you away? What if I told you that the key to handling life's surprises with grace lies in a simple but powerful practice? Visualization. Stoicism teaches us to anticipate challenges, not to dwell on worst-case scenarios, but to mentally prepare for them so we can respond with strength and clarity. Seneca put it best: we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. But here's the twist. What if we could use that same imagination to suffer less? Visualization isn't about spiraling into fear, but about rehearsing resilience. Imagine yourself navigating the most stressful situations in your life with ease. What would that look like? How would it feel to know, deep in your bones, that you've already practiced overcoming adversity? The process is straightforward but profound. Take a moment to reflect on challenges you might face tomorrow, next week, or in the near future. Maybe it's a difficult conversation, a high-stakes presentation, or an unpredictable event. Close your eyes and picture the scene vividly. What's the setting? Who's there? How are you standing, speaking, and maintaining your composure? Visualize not only the obstacles but also your calm, decisive response. This practice prepares your mind for the real thing. Athletes do it before a big game, rehearsing every move in their heads. You can do the same for life's challenges. By the time the moment arrives, it feels familiar, almost as if you've already succeeded. Here's an example. Imagine you're about to give a nerve-wracking presentation at work. Instead of fixating on the fear of forgetting your lines or fumbling your words, visualize yourself walking confidently to the front of the room. Picture the audience nodding along as you speak clearly and passionately. Feel the sense of accomplishment as you finish strong. By practicing this mental scenario, you reduce anxiety and prime yourself for success. This technique isn't limited to big events. It works for small daily frustrations too. Stuck in a long line? Visualize using that time to focus on your breathing or to enjoy a quiet moment of reflection. Facing a cranky coworker, picture yourself responding with patience and humor instead of irritation. Each visualization strengthens your ability to act with purpose rather than react impulsively. What makes this habit so impactful is how it transforms not only your internal state but also how others perceive you. A person who can remain calm and composed during chaos exudes confidence and stability. People naturally gravitate towards someone who seems unshaken, someone who has a plan. When you embody this steadiness, you become a source of comfort and inspiration, someone others long to be around in times of uncertainty. So let me ask, what challenges in your life could benefit from this practice? What could you visualize today to prepare for tomorrow? Try it and see how your outlook changes. If this resonates with you, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below. What's one challenge you'd like to mentally prepare for? If this practice of visualization inspires you, hit the like button. It's a small action, but it lets us know we're on the right path together. Let's continue building this habit, one thoughtful moment at a time. Next, we'll shift focus to the strength found in building connections. How can fostering meaningful community ties make others cherish and long for your presence? Stay tuned. 6. Foster community connections. Do you ever wonder why some people seem to be at the heart of every gathering, the ones others naturally gravitate toward and miss deeply when they're not around? It's not just charisma or chance, it's the result of fostering meaningful connections within a community. Stoicism reminds us that while self-reliance is vital, human connection is equally essential to living a fulfilling life. Seneca wisely noted, "We are members of one great body, planted by nature." This means that contributing to and enriching the lives of others is not just a choice, it's our natural purpose. But fostering connections isn't about being in the spotlight or striving to be liked by everyone. It's about showing up with authenticity, kindness, and a willingness to contribute. When you do this, you become more than just another face in the crowd. You become someone people trust, rely on, and admire. Start by engaging in activities that genuinely interest you. Join local clubs, volunteer for causes that align with your values, or participate in events that resonate with your passions. When you involve yourself in these spaces, you're not only building relationships but also becoming an integral part of something larger than yourself. People begin to associate your presence with positive energy and contribution, making your absence all the more noticeable. Small acts of kindness also play a significant role in fostering connections. Whether it's lending a helping hand to a neighbor, supporting a friend during a tough time, or simply listening without judgment, these gestures build trust and goodwill. Over time, they create a sense of mutual respect and appreciation, forming bonds that endure. Hosting or organizing gatherings is another way to strengthen your community ties. Imagine inviting a group of friends or neighbors for a potluck, a game night, or even a casual discussion about shared interests. When you take the initiative to bring people together, you position yourself as a unifying presence. People will remember the warmth and inclusivity you offer and will look forward to being around you again. However, fostering community connections doesn't mean you have to overextend yourself. Stoicism teaches the importance of balance and boundaries. Engage with others meaningfully, but also make time for yourself. The key is not to be everywhere all at once, but to be fully present when you do connect. Authenticity always outweighs quantity. Reflect on the people who have made a lasting impression on your life. Were they the loudest, most attention-seeking individuals? Or were they the ones who showed up with genuine care and consistency? Chances are it's the latter. By focusing on quality over superficiality, you cultivate relationships that stand the test of time. As you foster these connections, something remarkable happens. Your presence becomes more than a routine. It becomes a source of comfort, inspiration, and strength for those around you. People don't just enjoy your company, they begin to feel your absence, longing for the light and positivity you bring to their lives. So ask yourself, what steps can you take to nurture your relationships and contribute to your community? What acts of kindness or shared experiences could deepen the bonds you already have? By focusing on these questions, you'll not only enrich your own life, but also create a lasting impact on the lives of others. Up next, we'll explore how letting go of materialism and shifting focus to life's true treasures can transform not only your presence, but also your relationships. Stay with me as we delve further into the wisdom of Stoicism. 7. Embrace forgiveness. Have you ever carried the weight of a grudge? Felt the sting of betrayal replaying in your mind, or the bitterness of unresolved anger? It's heavy, isn't it? Stoicism offers us a path to freedom from this burden, reminding us that forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about liberating ourselves from the chains of resentment. Marcus Aurelius, in his infinite wisdom, stated, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Forgiveness is one of the most profound habits you can cultivate, both for your peace and for the quality of your relationships. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a demonstration of strength and self-control. When someone wrongs you, the natural instinct might be to retaliate or to hold on to anger as a form of self-protection. But here's the truth. that anger doesn't hurt the other person, it consumes you. By choosing to forgive, you're not condoning what happened, you're simply refusing to let it dictate your emotions or your future. Imagine someone has let you down, a friend who broke a promise or a colleague who undermined you at work. It's tempting to dwell on their actions, replaying the incident in your mind. But what if instead you took a different approach? What if you viewed their behavior through the lens of compassion, understanding that we're all flawed and prone to mistakes? This doesn't mean you tolerate repeated harm or ignore necessary boundaries. It means you release the emotional hold their actions have on you. Forgiveness doesn't require a grand gesture or a dramatic confrontation. Often it begins quietly within yourself. It's a mental decision to let go of anger and resentment, to stop allowing someone else's behavior to control your peace. This process might take time, especially for deep wounds, but the freedom it brings is worth the effort. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our responses, not others' actions. When you forgive, you reclaim that control. You become the architect of your own emotional state, untethered from the turmoil others may bring. And here's the beauty of it. This inner peace radiates outward. People are drawn to those who embody forgiveness because they exude a sense of stability, calm, and grace. Consider how forgiveness transforms your relationships. By letting go of grudges, you create space for healthier interactions. You set an example that inspires others to reflect on their behavior and strive to do better. Forgiveness isn't just about you. It's a ripple effect that fosters growth and understanding in everyone involved. But let's be clear, choosing forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or ignoring patterns of harm. It's possible to forgive and still hold firm boundaries. It's possible to release anger while maintaining a clear sense of what you will and won't tolerate in the future. Forgiveness is about emotional freedom, not blind trust. Think of a time when someone forgave you for a mistake. How did it make you feel? Likely relieved, grateful, and inspired to be better. That's the power of forgiveness, not just to heal yourself, but to uplift those around you. By practicing this habit, you become someone whose presence is a source of peace and understanding, someone others deeply respect and cherish. So I ask you, what grudges or resentments are you carrying right now? What would it feel like to set them down, to walk forward unburdened? The journey to forgiveness might not be easy, but it is one of the most transformative paths you can take. Next, we'll uncover the strength found in detaching from materialism and focusing on life's true treasures. Let's explore how this shift can deepen your sense of fulfillment and connection. 8. Detach from materialism. What truly brings you joy? Is it the latest gadget, the trendiest outfit, or the shiny new car? Or is it something deeper, perhaps an unforgettable adventure, a meaningful conversation, or the sense of accomplishment that comes from achieving a personal goal? Stoicism challenges us to reevaluate our relationship with material possessions, asking us to focus not on what we own but on who we are. As Epictetus reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Detaching from materialism isn't about rejecting comfort or pleasure, it's about shifting your priorities. Think of it as clearing the clutter from your life, both physically and mentally, to make room for what truly matters. When you no longer rely on possessions to define your worth, you create a sense of freedom and inner peace that others can't help but admire. Consider this. When was the last time you felt genuine happiness? Chances are it wasn't tied to an object but to an experience or a connection. Maybe it was the laughter shared with friends, the pride of completing a challenging project, or the beauty of watching a sunset. These moments stick with us because they nourish our souls, not just our senses. To practice detachment, start by being mindful of why you buy what you buy. Is it out of necessity, or are you trying to fill an emotional void? Instead of chasing the latest trend, invest in experiences that enrich your life. Take a cooking class, explore a new city, or learn a new skill. These investments don't lose value over time, they grow richer with each memory. Imagine meeting someone who isn't consumed by the pursuit of material goods. Instead of boasting about their possessions, they share stories of personal growth, meaningful relationships, and unforgettable adventures. Doesn't that make them more intriguing? more grounded, and more magnetic. When you embody this mindset, you create a depth of character that draws others in, sparking curiosity and admiration. Detaching from materialism also changes how you view relationships. When you're not fixated on what people own, you connect with them on a deeper level. You begin to value their authenticity, kindness, and wisdom over their status symbols. And in turn, others will value you for who you are, not for what you have. This practice doesn't mean you can't enjoy the things you own. It's about appreciating them without becoming dependent on them for your happiness. By reducing your attachment, you free yourself from the constant cycle of comparison and desire. You become someone who is content, present, and at peace, qualities that are undeniably attractive. Let's take this reflection further. What possessions in your life could you live without? What experiences or relationships could you cultivate instead? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're redefining wealth in your life. And if this idea resonates with you, give this video a like to let us know we're on the right path together. Next, we'll explore how simplifying your life and possessions can enhance not only your presence but also your relationships. Stick around as we dive deeper into these transformative habits of Stoicism. 9. Simplify your possessions in life. Take a moment to look around your living space. Is it filled with things that genuinely bring you joy and serve a purpose? Or is it cluttered with items you rarely use? How much of what surrounds you truly adds value to your life? These are the questions Stoicism urges us to consider when simplifying our possessions and, by extension, our lives. Socrates once said, "The secret of happiness is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less." This idea speaks to the heart of simplicity. It's not about deprivation, but about creating space to breathe, think, and focus on what truly matters. When we clear away the unnecessary, we gain clarity, peace, and a sense of freedom that's deeply attractive to ourselves and others. Simplifying begins with letting go of what no longer serves you. This could mean physical possessions such as clothes you haven't worn in years or gadgets gathering dust. But it also extends to mental and emotional clutter, unnecessary commitments, toxic relationships, or habits that drain your energy. By simplifying, you're not just tidying up your home, you're recalibrating your priorities. Imagine walking into a room that's serene and uncluttered, where every item has a purpose or a meaningful story. Doesn't that environment make you feel calm and grounded? Now think of the opposite, a space filled with distractions and chaos. Which version of yourself do you want to be? Which would others be drawn to? Simplicity also allows you to focus on quality over quantity. Instead of owning dozens of inexpensive, replaceable items, you might invest in a few high-quality ones that last longer and bring you genuine satisfaction. This mindset applies not just to possessions but to relationships, experiences, and even thoughts. By choosing fewer but richer interactions and endeavors, you enhance the depth and meaning of your life. Another aspect of simplifying is decluttering your digital life. How many unread emails, unused apps, or unnecessary notifications vie for your attention daily? By streamlining your digital spaces, you reduce distractions and regain control of your time and focus. This small act can have a profound impact on your productivity and peace of mind. But simplifying isn't just about practical benefits, it's about the energy you radiate. When you live with intention and clarity, you project a sense of calm and confidence that others find irresistible. Your presence feels lighter, freer, and more inviting. People notice the space you've created, not just in your environment but in your life, and they long to be part of it. As you consider simplifying, ask yourself, what in my life feels heavy, unnecessary, or out of alignment with my values? What could I let go of to create space for growth, joy, and connection? Start small. Clear a single drawer, say no to one unnecessary commitment, or delete one app that no longer serves you. Each small step is a victory. This habit is not about perfection, it's about progress. By choosing simplicity, you open the door to a life of greater purpose and presence, one that others will admire and, more importantly, feel inspired by. Finally, we'll conclude this journey by exploring the quiet yet profound power of modesty. How can embracing humility make your presence unforgettable? Let's find out together. 10. Embody modesty. What does it mean to truly be humble in a world that often values showmanship over substance? How can quiet confidence outshine the loudest voices in the room? To embody modesty is to understand that your worth isn't measured by how much attention you command, but by the depth of your character and the impact of your actions. Epictetus reminds us, it is the nature of the wise to resist pleasures, but the foolish to be a slave to them. This doesn't just apply to physical indulgences, but also to the temptation of praise and recognition. Modesty teaches us to resist the fleeting satisfaction of applause and instead focus on lasting inner growth. Think about the people in your life who truly inspire you. Are they the ones constantly boasting about their achievements? Or are they the ones whose actions speak volumes without needing constant validation? Chances are it's the latter. There's a quiet strength in modesty that draws people in, creating curiosity and admiration. To practice modesty, start by celebrating the achievements of others as much as your own. Shift the spotlight to their contributions, and you'll find that your support strengthens your relationships. This isn't about diminishing yourself, it's about creating space for others to shine. In turn, your humility becomes a reflection of your confidence. Another way to embody modesty is by sharing your successes subtly and meaningfully. Instead of broadcasting accomplishments to the masses, confide in close friends or family members who genuinely care. This deepens your connections and allows your achievements to feel more personal and authentic. Modesty also requires us to stay grounded. Regularly remind yourself of your beginnings and the journey you've taken. Gratitude for where you've come from keeps arrogance at bay and fosters a sense of humility. It's a reminder that success is never solely our own. It's shaped by the support, opportunities, and lessons we've encountered along the way. But modesty doesn't mean hiding your light. It means letting your light shine in a way that illuminates others without overshadowing them. It's about confidence without arrogance, strength without dominance, and presence without demand. Ask yourself, how can I embody humility in my daily life? What can I do to ensure my actions speak louder than my words? Reflect on these questions as you navigate your relationships, and you'll notice the profound impact of modesty on how others perceive and value you. As we close this journey through Stoicism, take a moment to reflect. Which of these habits will you embrace first? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like this video if it inspired you, and subscribe for more content to deepen your journey toward self-growth and meaningful connections. Thank you for being here, and may your presence always be a source of light and strength for those around you. You've now explored 10 transformative Stoic habits designed to not only enrich your life, but also make your presence deeply cherished by others. Each habit, from valuing your time and stepping back to embracing simplicity and modesty, has a common thread: the pursuit of a meaningful life rooted in self-awareness, intention, and growth. These habits are not just about how others see you, but about how you see yourself. They guide you to live authentically, to radiate confidence without arrogance, and to inspire connection without chasing it. Let's take a moment to reflect. What does it mean to truly live a life that others long to be part of? Stoicism offers us a profound answer. It means focusing on what you can control, cultivating your inner virtues, and becoming a person of substance rather than superficiality. The world values authenticity, and there's nothing more magnetic than someone who is grounded in their values, present in their actions, and purposeful in their journey. These habits are more than just actions, they are a mindset, a philosophy for living a life of purpose and connection. So I ask you, which of these habits will you begin practicing today? Perhaps it's letting go of complaints, simplifying your space, or stepping back to create room for reflection. Whatever it is, take that first step. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight, but with each intentional choice, you grow closer to the person you aspire to be. Let's keep this conversation going. Comment below with the habit that resonated most with you. Share your insights or your own experiences with Stoicism. If this video inspired you, give it a like and subscribe for more content to guide you on your journey. And of course, share this video with someone who might need these insights in their life. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. May your life be one of intention, growth, and connection. May your presence always inspire and leave others longing for the strength, peace, and authenticity you bring to their world. Until next time, be well and keep moving forward with purpose.